All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode number 39, and I'm so glad to have everybody here. I saw a whole bunch of people waiting in the chat, so that's awesome. Happy almost Sideshow Con, which is almost upon us. I just did a video, recorded it today. It's going to go up probably this weekend, where I talk about my most anticipated pieces that I personally want. I know that's been a big conversation lately of all the pieces that are possible that we might see, but I just cannot wait for that event. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here. I want to introduce everyone as always. Right over here next to me here from Wayne Manor North, Mr. Dan Default is with us.
Hey everybody, glad to be here. Happy Wednesday.
Glad that you're here. And then of course we have from Secret Sanctuary, Mr. Jeff Delaney.
Nice to be back, folks. Looking forward to the show.
Absolutely. We have Mr. Jeff Morris with us as always. Jeff 1.0.
Hey, guys.
Hello. And, of course, we have Rick once again back with us live from Wayne Manor. Where are you from again?
Mid-Atlantic.
Mid-Atlantic. That's right. Mid-Atlantic. That's right. I love it. I love it. So welcome. Thanks for being back with us, Rick.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks, guys, for having me. And hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well this week.
Doing great. And then, of course, back once again, Mr. Magnificent himself, Mr. Mac Main from Mac Collections.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. So, everybody, how's everybody doing this week?
All right.
Busy.
Good.
Great.
Busy,
Okay.
Surviving. Everybody's still healthy, which it looks like we're all healthy. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's I just told my wife I'm good being inside and doing everything, no problem. I'm an indoor outdoor cat, no problem. I've been working inside since March, and within probably a month, my wife was like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy! It's driving me nuts." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna feel it till July." Oh yeah, last week I started feeling it now. Now I'm starting to get sick sitting at my laptop. I'm getting sick just sitting down. I'm getting sick of work at home. Yeah, it's beginning to be a bit much for me now.
You guys know I'm a teacher, and so I'm in Kansas, and we have been getting instruction this week from the State Department of Education of kind of like opening guidelines, and we're going to kind of go to this hybrid schedule. Well, our governor today just said that we're going to now delay until after Labor Day. So September 9th is our new start date as of right now. So I've been off work since March, and so I worked at home obviously through May, but it's just crazy, like you said, kind of going stir crazy a little bit. I'm just kind of ready to get back to normal, but I don't know when that'll be. But everybody else holding up okay with all the stuff going on?
Yes.
Doing well.
Yeah.
Good. Well, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about some things going on this week in collectible news. Also, we have some great pictures to look at. A lot from Queen Studios. They've kind of been on fire lately. And then I also have a topic today. We're going to talk a little bit about base size, and does base size matter? So we're going to do a little bit of that tonight. So anyway, I just want to say hello to everybody real quick that's here, and we'll say hello to them. So we got The Bat Is Real here. Got Punisher XS. Hello. Hello, everyone. How's everybody going? Everybody's night so far? So far, so good. I do want to say right off the bat that I do want to be more interactive tonight. So I do want you guys to ask questions as we go. And I'll try to highlight them on the screen, and we'll talk about them. So if you have topics that you want us to discuss, please put them in the comments, okay? Got Thornton Applebottom with us. Hello. Got the Spider. I hope everybody's safe, healthy, and having a great week. You too. Absolutely. We've got Levi with us. Hello. We've got Poor Boy Collector. Emmanuel Brown. Greetings from Argentina. I love our international flair we got going on this show. So cool. And England. Very cool. We've got Dylan Hicks. Welcome back. Astronomers. I think it's Astronomers, right? Astronomers World.
Yeah.
Yep. Jeff Morris is with us. There he is right there. Got Derek Frame. Got Benji.
Oh.
Johnny Waddell's in the house. Hey, Johnny. Harley Quinn's back with us once again this week. Hello, Harley. Thornton Applebottom says, hey, astronomer. That's cool. Say that again, Jeff.
Levi wants to see my shirt.
There it is. How cool is that?
Where'd you get that, Jeff?
Hot Topic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's not.
So what's it like to be able to fit into a Hot Topic shirt? I'm
at the top. So
I'm like,
most of them are about this wide. They fit house cats, and that's about it.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed. Oh, let's see who else we got. We got the cool selection here. Hello. Poor Boy Collector is very astute. He says, "Ooh, I see the Flash PF back there. Let's do that real quick. Let's look at Jeff's screen. Look what he's got.
Just came today. I just uploaded the review.
Oh, so definitely check out. Wait till after the show's over, of course.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Then immediately go over to Secret Sanctuary and check out that review. I am so excited to watch your review as well. And to the shock of most people in this chat, I would assume I'm reviewing it as well. So I'm very excited, but definitely check out Jeff's. And he's probably the first review out there would be my guess.
I think so.
That's awesome. Very, very cool.
Looks like he's running right now.
Say that again.
It looks like he's running right now.
Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. Edwin Diaz is here. DC Marvel United. Chris, I thought you were a counselor. I am a counselor, but I do teach as well. So I'm both. I teach usually on Mondays is my main day of teaching. I teach 8 hours that day.
Oh, of what?
PE.
No, social emotional. Like it's called Second Step Curriculum.
Do you ever talk about statues?
I do not. I do. Some of the kids know I have a YouTube channel, but they don't know what the name is.
Okay, it's probably good to keep them away from it, right?
Yeah, I keep everything separate. I don't think there's anybody maybe one person that knows I do this. So not very many.
Until they find out.
Yeah, that's right. Some might.
Oh, they will. Don't worry.
Matt says Flash is in the house of Secret Sanctuary. Absolutely. Hugo Cardoza says, good evening, everyone. 1 a.m. here, but the show is worth it. Hey, thank you very much. That's awesome. That's very, very cool.
Hopefully he's off tomorrow and then he can have a sleep.
I hope so. I always appreciate the people that want to see this live. That's so cool. That's so cool. Let's see. The Spider says, glad to see Mac has been resurrected and looks good as ever. Absolutely.
I was
It is the return of the Mac.
I'm back. I had to reclaim the throne to all my statues.
Yes, you did.
That was pretty hilarious, Mac.
It was great. It was great.
Did you order it?
No, but I have a line out, so I didn't, but I have a line. It's out, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Travis is in the house. We've got Moses. Nitrous. Make sure I don't miss anybody here. I think I'm just about caught up. Dylan Hicks says, debating on selling my DX11 Hot Toys Joker for the Queen Studios Joker. We'll talk about that here in just a bit. Hot Toys is posable, but Queen Studios is perfection. Really only want one perfect ledger. Well, that really depends on the scale. There's a big difference between the Queen Studios and the Hot Toys for sure. So it depends on how much space you have. Hey, Whiplash Collector, Steven's in the house. Hey, Steven. Sergio says, I do second step at my job. Hey, that's cool. That's awesome. Says, I work at a preschool, didn't know you were a teacher. That's cool. Thank you very much, Sergio. Thank you. Thank you for the work you do. Jason M says, what's up, all? Levi. All right, I think we're pretty much caught up. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I don't know, something's beeping.
Yeah.
Somebody's cussing up a storm.
Yeah.
Who's beeping?
Yeah, someone's cursing in the background, yelling and hollering.
Oh, that's here. It would be. It would be at the House of Mac.
Yeah, and even your house is censored. I like that. That's pretty good.
I thought a Karen was on the loose.
As I
They're
said,
making her wear a mask.
at the beginning of the show, I did mention Sideshow Con. Sideshow is having their online event, and that does start Monday. We brought it up last week on the show, but make sure you've pre-registered. Not only do you get reward points, but you also get early looks into the statues. And I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. They did one last week. Jeff, which one? Wasn't it a Hot Toys they showed last week?
They showed 4.
Oh, yeah, 4.
There were 4 exclusives.
Stanley.
Stanley from Thor Ragnarok, which looks really cool.
It does.
That's pretty easy to just change the costume. There was an Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think translucent.
Yeah, it was that real
I can't remember what the others were.
I can't either.
I don't know.
Stanley was the only thing that caught my interest.
Yeah, that was a cool piece.
Because I think they should do one of those every year. There are so many versions that they could do.
That's a great idea. Each movie version, that's neat, like the Postman and
Yeah, the Guardians one was from last con,
Mm-hmm.
last year.
Yeah.
that's a great idea. That's really cool. That'd be neat. Good tribute to him. That's awesome. So anyway, I don't think we've really seen any statue reveals yet, but we did see the little teaser for Silver Surfer. What do you guys think of that little teaser we got?
I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What we saw looks good.
Yeah.
Do you think that that'll be the first one out of the gate that we see?
I think it'll be one of the first couple. I think they might do like a 2 at a time or 3 at a time. I'm excited to see the Silver Surfer. I really am, and I hope that he's, and this was something I meant to mention last time, guys. You ever notice the Batman statues? He's always leading with his right. He's always leading with his right leg. So I would love to see the Silver Surfer like in a dynamic pose or something. I know Dan and I have talked about that a few times, where it's like I'd just love to see a statue and just doing something. I think Silver Surfer is a great opportunity for that.
Yeah, I think if you look at Jeff's Flash, like they're clearly taking some steps to be more dynamic. I mean, he's literally keyed in one peg, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I think that they probably will be willing to take a risk with Silver Surfer. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. It's not a character that I know very well, me personally, but I'm really happy for all the collectors that have been waiting for 6 months for this big reveal.
It seems like they've maybe gotten some of the engineering right too. You've got they had a lot of success with Rogue. I mean, and look at the crazy engineering that went into that. It just seems like maybe they, kind of got to the point where the engineering's caught up with the creativity and stuff.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any people have issues with those statues. Like, I remember people were real concerned about like the Joker with the pogo stick, and they actually showed the engineering on that piece.
Yeah,
people were really worried about it, but like I've not seen any issues with any of their new pieces leaning at all. So that's pretty exciting. Now, I mean, maybe 20 years from now, who knows? But and another thing I've learned. The more times you take out a statue out of the base, the more likely you are to whittle away that little bit of polystone that holds it in place.
Yep.
So always, for all you newbies out there, definitely don't take it out just don't try to take it off the base, because eventually it will not go in properly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyway. So anyway, lots of reveals, I'm sure. So definitely stay tuned to Sideshow. Stay tuned to probably like Jeff's group, probably Mac, myself. We're all going to be showing you pictures, and our channels will probably have coverage as well. So stay tuned. Also in the Batman Statue Collector Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles group, we do have an ongoing messenger group where we're going to send out codes. Because they are going to send out a lot of codes from what I've been hearing. But You cannot speak or thumbs up or do anything in that group, or you will be immediately removed. No hard feelings, but that's the way. That way, everybody doesn't get constant notifications. I was added to a Sideshow group this week that Sideshow did, and I swear every 5 minutes somebody was responding with an emoji, or I'm like, people cannot read. Like, it's just. So I left that group because I couldn't take it anymore. So anyway, be on the lookout for that.
Chris, for the last event when you did that, I got every single code.
And that's crazy because I didn't even get every single code.
I think it was $60.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's really nice. I think I ended up with like 45, maybe 40, 45. But that's insane that they're giving that money away. Like, that is phenomenal. I mean, you can really get a nice break off your statue. And I tip my hat to Sideshow for that. That's really fun. And it's so interactive. You know, it makes you like you're got to be at your computer and type those in as quickly as possible because you want to save that money. But anyway, I'm excited about the event. Are you guys like super pumped, or are you kind of ho-hum about it? Where are you at?
Yeah.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I'm the same thing here.
Well, it's kind of cool because it's everybody will get the information at once.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's cool. And they are doing a booth tour. They've set up a physical booth. And I'm guessing they've already I don't know if it'll be live or taped, but I'm assuming they've taped some stuff already because they had a picture last week of their booth, at least the stands. So they could have done it ahead of time. I don't know. It would make sense. That way they can do post-production on it or something if they needed to. But I'm really excited about the event. And like Dan said, optimistic. Obviously you'll probably be disappointed if you don't see the piece that you're really hoping for. But it's still fun to see new pieces and kind of the direction they're going. I have a feeling they're going to be showing us a lot, I think. So.
I have an interesting tidbit about that.
Yeah.
I was texting with Daniel Bell yesterday, and I asked him, I know we're seeing Silver Surfer, but are we seeing anything else from you next week? And his exact response was, hopefully yes, but I'm not sure, keeping my fingers crossed. So we might be getting another Daniel Bell sculpt next week, which would be really nice.
That is really nice.
Yep.
A lot of times it comes down to the wire where, like, they'll have to get a test print, back from the factory in time. And sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. So obviously they might have a plan for that piece to be there, but who knows? It'd be real interesting if it was a Daniel Bell Batman. I think that would be pretty amazing. I would love to see that. But anyway, so that's next week, again, the 20th through the 26th. And so stay tuned to the channel for that, and definitely be ready for those codes because that'll be fun. Also, like my notification went to my junk mail, so you guys might check that to make sure that your notifications from Sideshow are going into your primary email. That way you don't miss the new reveals, because I missed that reveal that they posted. I had to go check my junk folder. So anyway, another interesting little tidbit that I saw, and we'll talk about this here in a bit, but did you guys see the Queen Studios recall on the Batman bust this week?
I did.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, that's
So that was a piece that I've considered and still might consider to add to my collection, especially after this week, because I've been stupid. But anyway, the bust came out and they kind of have these bulging eyes. What did you guys feel whenever you saw those? We've talked kind of privately about that, maybe if it was lighting or better lighting conditions, but what did you guys think when you saw those bulging eye photos?
I haven't seen them. I kind of want to see it now.
Okay. Well, I do have an example here in a bit, so we'll get to see them side by side. But what about the rest of you? What did you guys think? Were you guys like horrified, or did you think it was that bad?
I thought it was that bad. I really did.
Like Total Recall bad, or just like
it looked. He kind of looked, and I know Chris was being very generous with his lighting, saying that lighting was the issue. And I felt, wow, you've got a big heart and a generous soul, my friend. They completely screwed the pooch on that. Something went wrong in production. And my concern, and this is what you can't tell, at least what I can't tell from the pictures, is it the cutouts for the eyes in the cowl wrong too, or is it just the eyes? Or it's kind of hard to tell. You don't know how the piece is assembled, so it's difficult to tell. But it's gone way wrong, I think. But
to me, it was the depth of the eyeball.
That too, yeah.
I think that's what it was. I think if it was more recessed, I think that might have been the problem. I don't know, and I don't know the inner workings of how they even put those in. I don't know if they put the eyeballs in first, up through the bottom, or I don't know what they do.
To that point, Chris, it could have been too the way that if they're using. Does that piece have glass eyes? Are they using glass?
Well, that's the thing. Is like I think the Thanos piece. Like everybody was expecting glass eyes, but they weren't getting them.
It could be the sculpt of the eyelids around the eyes too. It could be that if the eyelids weren't properly sized and layered on there, that could give the illusion that you're describing too, if the eyes are just too big. So
yeah,
could be more than one thing.
So anyway, I did not see it officially posted from Queen Studios, but I did see like their Queen Studios distribution group. They said that they were doing a total recall on them, which I think is insane. Like think about that. Like think about the cost of that for them. Like to have people send it back and get a new one. But on the other hand, that does say a lot to me about that company, like that they're wanting to start out really strong here. But
I think that would only help them in the future.
Agree.
So,
yeah. And clearly they want these to be
successful. It's a lot of money, and I'm sure it probably would push some people to be like, okay, they're going to stand behind their stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could actually end up affecting the other statue companies. Sideshow. It may push Sideshow to kind of be a bit more maybe understanding, or and I can't remember if it was Queen. No, it wasn't Queen. It was Prime One. Some guys had posted some pictures about the cape. So some of their Batman capes were damaged, and Prime One was like, destroy it. Destroy your statue. Send us pictures, and hopefully what Queen Studios does is at least the spark for statue companies to kind of be a bit more understanding, or a bit more lenient, instead of like, oh, we got to destroy the whole thing. Okay, well, if Queen Studios is recalling everything, like Jeff just said, they're standing behind their product 100%, but they're also supporting the customer base.
Yeah, it's just very strong. I'm just really impressed with that.
I'm sure all of you saw the post where I don't remember who it was. They told them to destroy their cape, and they did. And then they're like, "Oh, we don't have one to send you."
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, we have a busted one that we thought we had a full one, but no, I'm sorry, it's busted." Literally, he just cut it up. Oh,
yeah,
man, I would be, wow.
That would almost make me get on a plane and be like,
oh yeah, that was a big horror story this week. I don't know if it's like lost in translation sometimes when you're dealing with other companies, sometimes, especially maybe overseas. I've known Prime One to be very good customer service. Sideshow's usually very good customer service. I mean, almost 100%. And so it's always disappointing when you hear a story like that. I'm hoping that those are few and far between, but there's been a lot of cape issues lately. It seems like with collectors having a lot of cape problems. But anyway, going back to this, I wanted to go back and hit Scott here. There we go. Scott L says, how do you guys feel about Queen Studios Joker not having any magnets or pegs? I'm a tad worried about something breaking. Well, some of you may have saw this in the group, but I did. It's not breaking my rule necessarily. My rule is I don't buy outside of Batman, but I've been trying to stay away from movie pieces, right? But I did buy the rooted hair Joker from Queen Studios. And so that, of course, that's going to open up a whole can of worms. But that piece, if you haven't checked it out, PJ the Paradox Nerd just posted his review. So check it out after you've checked out Jeff's flash review. We'll put put them in order, right? So wait till after the show, then go to Jeff's, then go to PJ's, then go to Max, okay? And then so, but anyway, he got the Joker, and it looks incredible. We also have some photos to look at here in just a bit of the sculpted hair, so I'll show you that as well. But anyway, I did not realize that there are no magnets. So it's basically everything's just kind of sitting on the statue. What do you guys think of that? And why do you think maybe they did that option?
I really don't know why they did that. It's kind of scary to me. I mean, hopefully that everybody's going to have that piece. Yeah, hopefully everybody's going to have that piece somewhere where nobody's going to come near it. And, you know, they don't have to worry about it. But, you know, that head sculpt is what really makes that piece. And if that thing gets damaged, man, that's going to be a huge bummer, you know?
Well, I heard PJ saying that that bench is real metal.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I might be tempted to stick a magnet in his butt and, you know, on his pants or something.
Yeah. Just kind of make it, stay there.
You know, something that would just make me nervous that I'd bump him right off that bench or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it makes me wonder too, like, you know, they've obviously announced the Batman since then.
Yeah.
And so the Batman's going to stand behind him. There is a separate base for him. And I kind of wonder if maybe he'll peg in, and then maybe somehow maybe they would add a magnet to that other base, you know, so because since it is metal, it would just suck right down onto it. I don't know. But, you know, this is, I think, their first statue, right? Other than a bust.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, they've done the small scale, like the little cutesy ones. But so maybe, you know, they're still learning, you know, with the, you know, because statues didn't always used to have magnets. I remember like the OG sideshow stuff would just, like, the pegs would just fit in. You remember those? Remember that back in the day? But magnets these days are.
One that does that. It just slides right in the slot.
Yeah. Of course, now magnets are the standard. You know that everything is. I think of my Prime 1 stuff, like it's super magnetized. You know, where it's not going to break. So we'll see from the future. But that was a good question because I did not know that either. I assumed that it was all magnetized or pegged in somehow.
Do you think they're trying to do something different? You know, with them moving up to that size and kind of stepping forward a little bit with their own design. You think it's something like, you know, like everyone says, oh, I have a sedan, but not all sedans are, they share similar features, but they're not all exactly alike. So you think that maybe this might be like I won't say prototype, but like a prototype introduction into statues?
It's possible. I kind of wonder if maybe their thinking was that this way you can like pose it how you want to. Like if you don't want to have it straight on the base or maybe a crooked, or I don't really know their thinking. I think to me it's just that they didn't necessarily think of it. Think of the magnets. But
it seems odd. I mean, magnets are not expensive.
No, they are not expensive. No.
Or just a peg.
Right.
Something in there.
Yeah. Dark Ranger 7 says that flash looks so dope behind you, Jeff. Congrats on him.
Thank you very much.
And David Graham says, hey, what's up, guys? Just finished Jeff's flash video. Looks great. Thumbs up. Think I might regret canceling that pre-order. I've also had issues with several statues from Sideshow not keying into their bases. Jeff, you had a slight issue with yours, but sounds like it's getting rectified.
It's just not keying in all the way. And so there's a gap there that doesn't look great. Yeah, I think it's stable, but it should be perfect. So I'm going to have to ask for a replacement, unfortunately. Other than that, it's perfect.
But luckily, you live 5 seconds away from Sideshow, so it shouldn't be too long.
It's true.
Yeah, Jeff he just drives up there and he brings the statue and he's like, "What the hell is this?" We're sorry. We're sorry, Jeff.
On the front door, and it's me. It's Jeff again.
Quarantine.
Just call us when you arrive and we'll bring it out.
Yeah. I wish they would let me drive up there, but they don't do that.
Don't make us send Jeff number 1. Don't make us.
They'll take care of business.
They'll take care of business.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with him.
No.
Yeah. They say you're Jeff number 2. Why don't we go with you?
Right.
Spider says, I'm not collecting DC right now, but that Flash does look sick. Yeah, what do you think of the overall paint? Do you feel like it's equal to the prototype, pretty close?
Completely. Yeah, there's lots of nice dark shading. The musculature is crazy good, just what you'd expect from Daniel Bell. It's really cool. I'm probably going to put it on a riser because I've got the other JL members from Sideshow, and he's got a much smaller profile compared to them because he's leaning forward so much.
Yeah.
I think it'll look a little better if I put him on a riser.
Is it heavy?
No, not really.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, we just hit 100 viewers right now live. I want to thank everybody very much. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the content. That really does help us on the channel a lot. So thank you very much. 100 strong, 30 minutes in. So thank you guys very much for that. I really appreciate you guys. Well, let's talk.
My family got the message.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Every time you come on, bam. Rick's secret weapon. I love it. Rick's. And what are you up to? Like 85 family members now, something like that?
85, and then I have about 15 that are pregnant. So
Perfect.
Well, there's your 100 right there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And that's on my side, not counting my wife's. And that's a whole other island.
Well, hopefully they're all statue collectors. That's pretty fun. That's awesome. Any other news items before we move on, guys, that you can think of? Any headlines?
I do have to say, I do like Rick's setup back there. I love those 1/3 Batman.
Oh, you like
Back
those?
to the prime one. Oh yeah. That looks. I don't think I've seen the OG and the new one side by side before.
They look good.
Yeah, they do look good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, it's I actually built this display, but it's not really working. It's not really working for me. But hold on one sec. Let me turn this. There you go. I put a light in.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. But I'm actually gonna do a different room design and kind of move some things around. But no, thanks, Mac. I appreciate it. And I just got these the books in. I think the last time I was on the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just put them up and I just got them on partial display. But I'm going to be moving things around though.
Yeah, I like it.
That's awesome.
They look awesome next to each other.
Yeah.
And Rick is doing a how-to video for us of kind of how he built his shelf or is building his shelving. You've of course seen Dan's amazing work, and you've seen some of mine on the channel. But we're going to get another perspective because Rick's is completely different, and so we'll have that up on the channel next week or so. So that'll be cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And speaking of amazing statues behind someone, let's highlight Jeff #1 and. Back where he finally belongs, Captain America, looking front and center. Look at that, guys.
Very nice.
He is.
Hey, Jeff, where did you find that? How did you ever get it?
That's a really interesting story. And that
yes, please tell. I'm so on the edge of my seat.
So last Friday, I'm home and the doorbell rings and I see 2 UPS guys. I'm like, I haven't ordered anything. So the one holding the box turns around and I saw the logo on the box and I'm like, and they like asked for me by name and I'm like, yeah. And so they're like, here. I'm like, okay, thank you. And I walked in. And I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the name and I'm like, yeah, that's my name, my address. And I'm like, this is really like some cosmic karma intervention. I'm like, I opened the box to see if what was actually in the box. And there it was, and I'm like, this is so weird. And like, at my emails, and then went to my Sideshow account, and I'm like, I didn't mistakenly order it.
in your sleep. Did I order this in my sleep? No.
Yeah. So then I like got on the group and I'm like, this is really weird. This just showed up at my door. Of course, everybody was playing really coy and that's so weird.
We could not keep a secret. It was so difficult to keep a secret.
Y'all went on for like several hours though. And I'm like looking at the label and I kept looking at it and I looked at my Sideshow account several times and I'm like, this is like really. So it's kind of like, do you want to look the gift horse in the mouth? Then I thought, maybe Sideshow had seen the show where we had talked about, and I thought, no, they're not that nice.
Now you're dreaming. Now you are dreaming.
I was so worried that you were going to like call Sideshow and be like, there must be some like major mistake, or and like I was so worried you were going to call.
I was really curious, but I'm not stupid.
So that's when the cat came out of the bag. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I have to tell you a story about something. I'd ordered a couple of signed posters from Alex Ross' website a couple of years ago, and they mistakenly sent me something that was way nicer than posters. And so I called them and told them, I was like, somebody's looking for this. And they were like, we were trying to figure out where this was. We couldn't figure out who. So they were like, the poster that I wanted was, it was Batman, but it was like from here up. Mm-hmm. And he signed like 50 of them. And they went really quick. And they're like, we're out of that and we don't have it. And the guy said, hang on a minute. And he said, we have a couple of the old full size, full body. I think it's like almost 6 feet tall.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
And he said, I'll get him to sign this and send it to you, if that's okay.
Wow.
I'm like, sure. And then they threw in a couple of 11 by 17 posters signed. He signed those too.
Wow.
But, it just, I knew it wasn't mine. And I'm like, somebody's shin bricks. So.
Oh man, that's so cool. That's awesome. Johnny, what happened to your Captain America? So tell everybody what happened to your original Captain America. And that's why we got you the replacement piece.
Well, I have a corgi, and she has started doing this thing. She did it for a while. She's kind of stopped again. When you get up to leave the room, she kind of freaks out and like goes for your feet and legs and talks me to trip.
Corgi's like this big.
I know.
20 pounds.
They're like that long.
Yeah, her legs are like this.
What's the matter, Jeff? You fell over a speed bump?
Yeah. Well, it was either fall on her or fall forward. So, and I knew, just went through that, and I had the light off in here.
Yeah.
All I heard was this sound. And I was like, and then the dog took off when she heard the crash. I'm like,
the dog heard that.
And I'm like, well, I'm thankful that it wasn't all three of these or one of the two in the back, because I wouldn't even try to.
Yeah, you can't find them.
Yeah.
Every now and then you see some on eBay, but they are double or triple. And they're usually somewhere on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
So anyway, basically, long story short, a bunch of collectors, in the community got together, and we got Jeff that statue. And so I am just so glad that he's back in your collection, and he looks like exactly where he belongs. And That's awesome. So again, I want to thank this community again, because this community, although small and although full of drama, this group is incredible, and the people in this community is incredible. And I just want to thank everybody that was involved in that, because this is what it should all be about, helping each other and being supportive of each other. So anyway,
it was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise!
I was like,
Chris, I don't know what drama you're talking about, man.
I don't know. No.
I don't see any drama.
We are lucky on the Batman Statue Collector channel because we've stayed pretty clear of it. And that just goes to show a lot of the people in the community are very positive people. And there's a number of channels and groups the same way. Yeah. Absolutely. Michael Katsuda says, can you please shout out, please? What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Got a lot of congrats to Jeff. We got a lot of congrats to Jeff for the Flash PF.
Thank you.
Hey, extreme channels here. I'm not small.
That's what she said.
No, that's what he said.
Welcome. Dark Ranger says, here. We need more stories like this. I hope we hear more stories like this in the future. Absolutely. Collectors Assemble. Hugo says that, and that's exactly right. And
I'm trying to convince these guys to chip in for my mortgage. So please, that would be fantastic. Just 1 month mortgage, man. I would so appreciate the collective community.
We need to do that. We need to do that for Mac too. If we could ever find a damn Hawkman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'd want it, man. The thing come in broke again. I'd be you know how mad I'd be. At that point, I would probably, like, I held it together pretty good. At that point, I think I'd lose it on camera, and I would just upload it. It'd just be the way it is.
You cannot find one of those anywhere.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Anywhere, and I've looked. You cannot find it.
I contemplated fixing it, but I was just like, it's just not worth it at the end of the day, because it's just the weak points. It's not just the leg; it's where the wings attach to. So I've seen a lot of points where the wings key in that it's hollow in there too, so that if they break out, they break there. So if you keep moving it around, you're probably more likely to break it. But for me, I was just like,
that's surprising that he was that hollow.
Yes, it's crazy, man.
Because
I can understand the wings.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking like where the wings key in, like to like where his in his back.
Yeah.
So there's no structure there to hold it.
No, there's no structure there.
That's
just. They did not do that with Falcon.
No.
I feel like his back is pretty solid.
Right.
And the backpack that of course, there's a backpack for them, where they come out of. So that's really cool that they were, it didn't, it's not like trying to just fit onto a body.
Yeah. Interesting engineering. Hey, I want to say hi to Thor Gunderson. He's watching with Jabba the Mutt. How's it going, Thor? Awesome. Love that name. So great. All right. So let's see, get back to where I was originally going here. So topic number one tonight, we won't spend very much time on this, so I don't think it'll take very much time. But topic one, we were going to talk about this base size matter. And I think, Dan, you said you kind of brought it up this morning. So like, what was your thinking? Like, what were you talking about this morning?
Well, I think that it's kind of this weird kind of dichotomy where the bigger, more intricate, kind of, use your term, bases that tell a story are super cool, but they eat a lot of real estate, and that means fewer, less space, fewer pieces, which in my world, in my head, is not necessarily a bad thing. But, when you get a piece in and the base is rather small, the one that comes to mind where I really kind of had that reaction I didn't expect to was with the Catwoman PF, the new Sideshow Catwoman PF. Her base, it's barely wider than she is. It's just really narrow, and it's awesome. I can put her anywhere, and she's not any less impressive for it. She's a beautiful statue, beautiful.
Right there.
There she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me highlight Jeff real quick here. There she is right there.
Yeah.
Right there. So, I love that piece. But, we were talking. Yeah, there you go. right? And she's awesome. But we were talking in the group this morning about, I think it was the Harley, the Prime 1 Harley. And her base is the reason I didn't get her. I just
The ramp.
Yeah, the ramp. I'm like, I just can't do it. So,
well, sometimes I wonder, like, especially, I think of big bases, I think of Prime 1. I think that's where my mind instantly goes. There are other companies that have done big bases as well. I think sometimes it might have to do with the engineering of a piece, and if that's the case, I get it. But like even like this Killer Croc back here over my shoulder, like if you've ever seen this one in person, the base is really big compared to the statue. It takes up a lot of room, which kills my case a little bit. But so I get it if it's an engineering thing. But there's so many people that complain about space, like that Harley one you mentioned. I remember when we first saw that, collectors were begging for the statue, but a small footprint option for the base where you can buy. And I know from like production cost, I know that that's not always feasible for companies to do that. But yeah, how great would it be if you want that big ramp that tells a story? By all means. With the Joker head, but if you wanted just kind of something more simple that doesn't take up, because that she's not that big,
right, yeah,
you know. But I think her base, like, you know, I'm looking at my Batman Who Laughs, and I know some of you guys have it as well. I think that Harley base will probably be about as big as that thing, maybe not quite as wide, but close.
Yeah,
you know, the other base that comes to mind are Prime 1's Dark Knight Rises. And the Salina pieces, both those bases to me are a complete waste. I mean, they're somewhat interesting because they're taken from the movie, from the scene in the movie at the end.
Yeah.
But man, they just seem they don't tell much of a story, just seem way oversized.
You're talking about the steps?
Yeah, the steps. Yep.
The steps.
Yeah.
But that's another one though. Like a lot of people complained about those steps, that they were too boring. You know,
I don't disagree.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah.
I wish that they had done something different, but again, if they would have done something different, would it have been bigger? I just don't know. Like I look at some of my Arkham pieces, some of them are pretty tiny, like Harley Quinn, pretty small base. All of those original ones. And then they started getting bigger, of course, with like Killer Croc, and Mr. Freeze is massive, takes up a ton of space. It's just insane how much room that takes up. And like Mac, you're Superman Hush, right? Like that thing, that base is insane.
Yeah, nothing beats Doomsday's base. Doomsday's base is by far the most ridiculous base. It's just this big circular mass of just like nothing.
I don't know if they could have made a smaller base for him.
No, I don't think so. But when you just think about it, like every time I see it, I just like, that's literally like a 5-year-old just like kind of standing right beneath me with spikes.
Hey Chris, Dark Ranger's asking if any of us have a favorite base.
Let's see, where is he at? There it is, right here. Dark Ranger, right there. Do you guys have a favorite base? Wow, that's a great question. I've never really thought of that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What do you guys think? I got to think for a second. What do you guys
have one?
Okay.
XM Samurai Deathstroke.
Yeah. The same
thing. That's a good base.
You know what? My favorite base, and even though it's not Batman, it's the Thor premium format where he Surtur, and it's Surtur's head, and it's got the lava coming out and stuff. Mm-hmm. That is really, really cool. So that's and it fits it perfectly. It like doesn't cape down to the bottom. Like it's just nice and evenly supportive for the statue. So for me, it's that Thor, the Thor one with him on Surtur's head.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. What about you, Jeff?
Me?
Either Jeff, either one.
I have the same answer as Dan.
All right, there you go.
I think the one that tells the best story I've got is the Prime 1 Sideshow Green Lantern.
Yeah,
that's a cool one.
Because it's hang on.
Uh-oh. Don't trip over the dog.
He's going on the road. Yeah, no,
he's gone.
Dog-free zone.
He's the other room. This guy.
Oh,
Green
the
Lantern.
New 52.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Just
Ryan
where
mentioned
they did the construct coming up and it's translucent.
Mm-hmm. I love that statue.
Yeah, that if I was going to get a Green Lantern statue, which I'd probably get that one if I was, but I'm kind of holding out for one that just really, really grabs you, and that's a really good one, but not for my collection yet.
No, that one's just I really like that for base.
Yeah,
That's incredible. I'm looking at my bases, and I kind of tend to go. I don't know. I think I'm kind of leaning toward Mr. Freeze, and that's only because it's so different. Like it has those giant ice shards. It's annoying because it's so big, but at the same time, like it's so dynamic, and it needs to be big to accommodate him because he's so big.
Yeah.
I would have thought you would have said Batman Who Laughs with the Robins.
Well, if I'm just looking at the base itself, but I guess I guess the Robins are. I mean, I guess if the Robins are part of the base, then heck yeah, there's no question.
That's not a contest at that point. But if you consider him the base, those the base, there's nothing else comparable in my opinion.
Yeah.
The other one that comes to mind is the new Batman New 52 statue is a very cool base.
I think that was going to be my second one just because it's so different with the glass and him bouncing off of it.
Yep.
I just don't think there's ever been anything done quite like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see what else people say here.
Ryan, real quick, Chris. Ryan mentions the Green Arrow base, the Sideshow Premium Format Green Arrow. I have that. He's 100% right. Just the ocean wave and the water and stuff. Oh man, that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's such an incredible statue.
There you go. Behind Jeff. Yep. Yeah, that is. I'm actually thrilled that I got that. I am really, really happy. It is an absolute gorgeous. Beautiful statue.
That went like hotcakes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that if you take if I was to think about the statues that I have, if you take all of the the bodies off, I would say probably the Thanos on throne would be a good pick too, because the throne, the throne is insane. Like when you look at it.
Sorry, I missed it. Which one did you say?
The Thanos on throne, the sideshow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's one I still have not ever seen in person.
Oh no.
Well, come on over, Chris.
Yeah. I know. As we get rid of the Rona, I'll be there.
Yeah. We're talking about the XM Deathstroke, and it occurred to me that it kind of illustrates how sometimes a big base is because the character has a very wide stance and requires a big base to accommodate it, and that's the case with that statue.
Yeah. Yep. Christomas, I think. Christo Thomas? I'm not sure. But anyway, he says new Sideshow Scarecrow base with Jason Todd looks sick. Yeah, we got some pictures coming up. That should be shipping, says July to September, so it should be any time. But yeah, that's probably going to be a contender for sure.
Yeah.
So cool. But at the end of the day, really, it comes down to like what we always talk about. We talk about space. How much room do you actually have? Of course, these big bases, a lot of people cannot accommodate them. They might be able to accommodate the statue, but not the base that goes along with them. I was actually talking to Chad Colbank of Tweeterhead today, and we were talking about that exact same topic about, it's a fine line between the base because you want the base to be good and tell a story. You don't want it to be that boring. But I pointed out to him too, it's like you do want to make sure that the statue is the focal point. You don't want the base to take away that much from it. Now, again, like a piece like the new 52 Batman right there, that piece I feel like is an exception because that base does help bring that statue to life. So I think it really just depends on the pose of the base. But, just about every base to me, like even like I'm looking at my Arkham line here, they all tell a story because they're all those gothic, looking top of the bases. So I like that they're all cohesive. But they are massive and they do take up a lot of room. So it's hard as the base size at this point. I mean, all of our collections are getting tighter, right, guys? I mean, they're all it's inevitable. we are to that point where everybody in this room is like, okay, we're running out of space. Yeah. So are you guys all at this point? Do you consider space maybe more than even if you want the statue.
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
I was like, that's kind of like
well, what I did was initially I actually have 3 glass display cases that you find in the comic book shop, right? And I have those. So now that Dan has worked his magic on me, I'm going to build some stuff, and I'm going to try and get rid of these display cases. Now, anyone who's in the DMV, I will be posting them up, and but not anytime soon, just eventually. It comes with lights and plugs, but I know that once I get those out and I kind of rearrange or whatever it is I build, I know that I can create some space.
Yeah.
So that for me, I'm not worried about. Now, if I was in a shoe closet or something like that, it's a different story. Once I get these cases, out and this display here right behind me, and I kind of put some shelving in and kind of just readjust the space, yeah, I'll be good. But no, no.
How about the rest of you?
You got. I don't even know what
I agree with Mac.
Got your
Yeah.
tongue?
I was just thinking to myself, like, I just order stuff, and I'm like, where am I going to put that? And I'm like, oh, well, I know I've got this, and I've got the Mac Palace 2.0 coming, along here soon. But for now, I'm just kind of cultivating pieces and, just sticking them places.
Right.
Cultivating pieces and sticking places. Nice.
Yeah, kind of what I'm doing. So they're just going all over the place. Looks like they're having babies.
Mr. X says buy a new house. Not everybody gets the whole basement. Come on.
Yeah.
Mr. X should feel welcome to buy me a new house.
Yeah, come on.
Accept that.
If he sold half of his statues, he could still buy us all a new house. Yeah.
And wouldn't that be the charitable thing to do?
Sure it would. Come on. Come on.
X, you got to get back to the community, man. You got to share the love.
Come on, Mr. X.
Come on, man.
You know you want to. Hey, 123 people watching right now. Thank you guys very much. That's so awesome.
And we would all like new houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, again, please write to Mr. X and make sure you send him your address. He will write you a check. Take care of, no problem. But yeah, it's hold on a second. He says it's not tax deductible to donate to you guys. It was worth a shot, right?
If he pays us on PayPal with friends and family, then he doesn't have to worry.
There you go.
So back on topic. I think I 1,000 times thought about pre-ordering Hulk Transformation.
Oh
Yeah.
And size was the only thing that stopped me. I love that piece, but it's just so damn big. It's basically 2 feet square, like a 2-foot cube.
Yeah, it's so good though.
It's fantastic.
It is phenomenal. Jack, who's been doing some reviews for the channel here lately, he reached out to me and he's like, "Should I get this piece?" And he ordered it. Like it's just it's just such a good piece. We got some photos here in just a moment too. So
And there's only 750 of them.
yeah, it's a good ES, and I don't know how deep it is, but it's basically 2 statues, right? I mean, solid statues.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, I just wanted to bring up with you guys, since we're talking about the base size and real estate. I don't know about you guys, but I have not a clue right now as I sit here and talk to you where I'm going to put that Batman Year Zero statue. I am just like, where am I going to put it? I am literally going to have to create space out of air.
Well, thank God it's quarter scale and not 1/3.
True, but with that bike and the base.
Quarter scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The mystery scale on that one.
Yeah. Well, depending on what country you're in, it's a sliding scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
The base is 27 inches, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Over 2 feet. Over 2 feet. Oh man. And the depth and the height. Oh my god.
Who all has that one on pre-order?
I do. Yeah, I got it.
So
I don't.
Dan and Rick. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
another
it's an incredible piece.
Do what, Jeff? I didn't hear
It's a
you.
gorgeous.
That's another
piece.
one where size stopped me from pre-ordering.
Yeah, oh, really? Yeah.
Man,
It would
but
be
yeah,
one
it's
whole
just-
shelf on my garage shelving.
Yeah.
Now fits 4 X-Men.
Yeah. Well, I'm about ready to. I have to expand my case here. I have to go bigger because I'm out of room for those.
Uh-oh.
But
Break out the Microsoft.
Chris,
I think at the end of the day, and I think we can kind of wrap up this conversation with that size. We talked about it before, but size of these bases do matter a lot, depending on what space you have. I mean, not only if you only collect 1/4 scale, but I do feel like in general 1/4 scale is pretty reasonable most of the time. I feel like it's whenever you start getting 1/3, when you start getting 1/2, that's whenever you really. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of space they take up. You have to have a lot of room. But I do wish, going back to that conversation about Harley, I do wish that companies would be able to offer 2 different base options. Again, I know that that's probably not feasible because of the styrofoam and the packing and the factories and all that cost associated. But at the same time, I think maybe it would win over some more people if they had that option, and maybe they would sell more statues that way.
mm-hmm. I agree.
Because if Dan's not buying Harley only because of that base, otherwise he would have spent $1,000 on that statue.
Yep. No question.
Yeah. And I think a lot of other collectors might have done that as well. So maybe we'll see over the next couple years to see kind of how things pan out with that. Because I feel like there has been a big swoop up to these big bases. And now I think some of them are kind of paring down just a little bit. And so I think the community is being heard. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. Let's see. Anybody else want to say anything about that topic?
Only that they have to realize, Chris, that they're ultimately shooting themselves in their own foot. Right. I mean, you want your collectors to have space available for the next new piece.
Yeah.
So they have to know that at a certain point, you know. But
do you think it comes down to stubbornness sometimes, where there is an art direction and they're like, by God, we're going to stick to that art direction no matter what, it doesn't matter? Or do you think it comes down to like a balance of, well, we still want to sell these things?
Yeah, I think it comes down to competing. I think they're competing for much of the same audience a lot of the time. You know, a core group of people that are willing to spend $700-800 plus on these statues, and they're trying to differentiate themselves like any other business, you know. And just, I personally think it's the wrong choice. Like I said, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot because, you know, obvious reasons. So,
well, and they're on an almost daily basis, there is new competition. Companies that are newer are coming out really strong out of the gate. I saw another company that just got launched, and apparently they're doing licensed items as well. So it's just like, you know, you're going to have more competition, but more competition is good for us in the community, obviously, because it's going to inspire. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see, like I said, over the next couple of years, how much. So anyway, 136 now in the chat. Thank you guys very much.
Real quick.
I texted my wife. I told her thank you for letting her family know to get in.
I appreciate that. They obviously had all their babies all of a sudden, so that's good.
Yep.
So yeah, hit that like button like Jeff said. Thank you very much.
Real quick, I want to. Super Soldier asked me a question. He says, "What do I think about the bases from the XM and the SS Cyclops?" I can't really speak on the Sideshow Cyclops because I haven't seen it. Well, I saw it at New York, but I haven't seen it like in person, like right in front of me. But I like that the XM base, the XM piece, just in general, is just a little bit more. It's just more detailed. So for me, I like the XM piece a little bit more because it has more of like a it's not as comic accurate, but it has like this tactical look to it. So I kind of like that a little bit more. And the base is, I think the base on the XM one tells a little bit better story, but that's me.
I think those pieces are pretty close. I think that they're both good. Like I feel like if whichever one you get, you're going to have a good statue there. I think it's fun. I think the Sideshow one, I kind of like the more dynamic of the Sideshow, but I feel like I like the sculpt. I like the torsos too, the swap outs with the XM. There's fun.
Yeah, when it comes down to cost, I think that the cost is like kind of the main thing with that, because the XM1 is so much more expensive when it comes down to when you really kind of come down to it. So, but yeah, the SSP is nice. I thought about picking it up.
And you're going to get.
Would you say that again, Jeff?
I think that, if you start out getting the XM X-Men or the Sideshow X-Men, it would kind of get me to stick with that line so they look.
I don't know, Jeff. I don't know, Jeff. Have you seen my video when I had when I had the little diorama? I think it looked pretty good, man.
I look pretty good.
But I think that's probably what a lot of people think.
You think?
Plus, I mean, what's the price difference?
Like the XM one is over 1,000 plus shipping, and then the Sideshow one I think is like what, 500-600.
Yeah,
it's a big difference.
So you could get 2 X-Men for the price of 1.
Yeah, so you can. And I think
Jim that probably pushes people a lot when they're deciding. Plus, it's not easy to, it's not as easy to get an XM. You have to look for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. It's definitely easier because with the Sideshow pieces, you can, they have that. They're a little bit cheaper, and you pay less shipping, and it is nicer to be able to complete a line like that, because you're not going to pay as much than what you would with the the accent pieces.
Jim Mint in the house. Hey, Jim, how's it going, sir? Hope you are well. I wanted to go back to this comment here from Greg. He says, well, the Prime 1 outliner will be the Iron Studios Joker and how small that base is. That was one of the big selling features for me, is that, having a 1/3 scale piece. Dan, I know you're getting this one as well. Anybody else? I can't remember.
What one is this?
Oh, Jeff is too. This is the Iron Studios with the skin mask Joker face.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. But that is a perfect example of that's a base size that's very, very convenient. Like it is so perfect, and it's still a 1/3 scale piece. I absolutely love that base size.
Me too. It still tells a story.
It absolutely does. It does. Yep. But maybe it'll have wobble issues. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get it. But I think it's fantastic, and I think that's just the perfect size. So anyway, that's awesome. A lot of people saying hello to Jim.
You know what? Speaking of Jim, I have a little shout out for Jim. He did an interview with Dan Abnett, which was really, really good. I actually shared it on my Facebook group because Jim did a really good job of interviewing him. He asked pertinent questions, but then he kind of got out of the way and let Dan speak about his career and the characters. And it's a great interview, you guys. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out on Jim Mint's channel.
I would concur. I feel like he is such a great interviewer. Like I feel like he has really learned great skills to be a good interviewer, and just what an incredible channel. He's been very successful. So if you haven't checked out that interview, head on over to Jim. So again, you got to go to Jeff's first or the Flash review. Who was second? I can't remember.
PJ.
PJ. Then you go to Paradox Nerd and watch the Joker review, then go to Mac and watch his latest video, and then go to Jim and watch so you have a whole evening of entertainment for free. Look at that. It's
amazing. And it's free.
It's free.
Yeah. It's free. It's free. All you just gotta subscribe, hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you nothing.
Hit likes on all those videos. Subscribe to all those fine folks. If you haven't, I mean, come on, why haven't you? There's 131 people here watching, you should definitely have subscribed to all of those people.
And it's better than what's on TV.
No doubt about it. We got rid of cable recently, so it's so nice to get rid of that finally. We went to YouTube TV.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course they raised the price by $15 as soon as we get
it. Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
It's probably getting close to a year since it's gone, and I've not missed it once.
Wow.
It says you guys should unite and buy a network. We should be the Collectors Network. I like
Collectors Network.
I think we should be behind. I think we should have a movie studio and do the comic book movies.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. It'd be like Jem's the interviewer. He's a reporter on scene, and it'd be like out of South Park. Well, Chris, I'm standing outside the New York Comic Con, and pandemonium is all over the place today.
This is way off topic, but I went to my son's baseball games this weekend, so I had a lot of travel. We traveled between towns, and I listened to a lot of like Hair Nation, like 80s hair metal, and they did this virtual festival this weekend where they took live footage of like Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi and all these bands, and so but they made it sound like it was live, and so they said, okay, we're heading to the stage now, we're gonna try to get an interview with Bret Michaels of Poison, and but it was like this big 2 hour 3 hour event, but it felt like a real concert. Like it was so cool. It reminds me of that a little bit. It was neat.
Awesome.
It was really fun. It was fun.
That's awesome.
So this is another thing off topic. Before we get to pictures real quick, I just wanted to hear, we don't talk about Star Wars very much on this, but did you guys hear the news that they might erase the Star Wars history of the last 3 films, and they're going to replace the head of what's Kathleen Kennedy?
Kathleen Kennedy
with Jon Favreau.
No.
Is that legit news?
I've seen multiple sources that are pointing to that she would be gone within the next 2 years. The crazy thing about
I think her head's been on the chopping block for a while.
Yeah.
She's been on thin ice.
The crazy thing about it is with Disney Parks, though, is that they had this big, they have their new Galaxy's Edge, and it's all based along those stories.
Right.
So I don't know how they would do that if they wanted to kind of reboot, but obviously Favreau's done an amazing job with Mandalorian. Anyway, I just thought that was crazy. I couldn't believe that news that they would maybe try to, that would just be another universe, kind of like what DC's doing with this, multiple universes and multiple storylines. But I just didn't know if you guys had heard that, because I thought it was
I've not heard that.
No.
Pretty nuts.
But Jeff was right. Her head has been on the chopping block for, I think, since the second film?
Yeah.
Green
Mobster said she resigned last week. I've not seen that, but that'd be crazy if that's the case. Johnny Waddell says they can't re-erase the movies. They already happened. To many fans, it won't matter what Disney says. They are still Star Wars movies. Yeah, I mean, I still enjoyed them for what they were. I mean, I would have liked other things, other changes, but whatever. I know it didn't do as well as they had hoped. Galaxy's Edge was initially meant to be designed about the original trilogy, and Kennedy had it changed to Batuu in the new trilogy setting. Yes, I have heard that as well. They originally wanted it to be, which I think it would have been a lot smarter to do those original filming locations. That's what's made Harry Potter and Universal so popular. You can actually visit those places. Batuu is a place that no one can connect to because it's not in any film. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Universal. Have any of y'all been to the Harry Potter?
I have.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy good.
It's phenomenal.
It's been several years, but I mean, it's like
very immersive. The rides are great. Yep.
All
of that.
Dragon on top of the bank.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah.
Although it's hard for me to visit right there because that's where my Jaws ride used to be, and that was my favorite ride.
Yeah.
And they tore it down. But so that where the flames used to go up from the dock is now the flames that come out of the dragon's mouth.
No.
Oh, wow.
They use that same gas line. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. All right, you guys ready to get some photos?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Hell yeah.
All
That's what I'm
right.
looking for.
Let's do it. Let's see. All right, let me know if you can see the photos.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start out of the gate since we've been on last. This was announced, and we've seen teasers and things, but this is the Queen Studios 1/3 scale Batman that is going to go with the Queen Studios 1/3 scale Joker from The Dark Knight. And I'll kind of just scroll through these pictures. What do you guys think of this particular statue?
I think it looks great.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, and the head sculpt that I'm seeing, just like the unmasked, is phenomenal. So I'm glad I'm not really into movie pieces, because if I was, then I would definitely have to, get that.
You guys, I announced earlier that I did get the Joker. I kind of broke my rule, and I got the Joker from Queen Studios, and I will be getting this one as well to complete the look of the two together.
There you go.
With this, you just talked about this head sculpt. There is two different versions. Actually, there's three different versions. There's one without the head sculpt, one with the sculpted hair, and one with the rooted hair. So
I think that's smart.
So yeah,
That's kind of like giving you the deluxe base or the more space economical friendly. Because I mean, you can get the Batman just
So Chris,
by itself. Sorry,
Chris,
man.
no, you're fine. Chris, you did get the rooted hair Joker, right?
yes, I was able to find the rooted hair Joker.
Okay.
Although we're going to see the sculpted here in just a minute. And I think both versions are really good. I was talking to the group earlier. I've actually considered getting both, and then trying to figure out which one I like better whenever I get it in hand. But I think that the key to the rooted hair is just making sure you play with it and get it right.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some good pictures and some that are just like amazing, spot on. But yeah, I got the rooted for now, and I don't know what I'll do in the future, but I'll probably get just the standard of Batman, and because I don't think I'd ever really display it with the Christian Bale head. But anyway, so this is the base that comes with the statue, and then like I said,
it reminds me of the Batmobile.
Yeah.
very Tumblr like. But I think it looks really good. I think the pose is really good.
I think what they should have done, and this is just my personal opinion, and this is nice. It really is nice. But I would have loved to have seen them do the statue in the Dark Knight, where it's the crumbled building with that blew up, and he's like standing there with the the iron next to him and stuff like that. That would have been a cool statue.
Well, it's basically this statue, but it's just the wrong base. You know what I mean? Like that's the pose. Like if you look at this is that pose right there.
Yeah.
In the burning building, which is what they try to duplicate right there.
That piece of girder.
Yep.
That's sticking up. You know, the Hot Toys quarter scale figure came. Their base for that was that with the girder.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah. That would have been neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So here we get to see the Prime 1 piece, 1/3 scale from the Dark. This is, of course, the Dark Knight, the Rises suit versus the Dark Knight suit. Very similar. There is some slight differences, but between the two, what do you guys think?
I would go with. I'm going to go with Queen, the one on the left. It's way better.
Yeah, I think that they got the suit. A little more depth to the suit, like it looked in the movie, whereas the Prime 1 looks very one-dimensional.
Yep.
You don't see that undersuit and the armor pieces and the banding of the pieces together like you do with that one.
I some collectors have said, and they brought up a really great point, is like me personally, I do like the Queen Studios Batman better. However, there's a lot less options for swap outs. You don't have any grapple gun to put in his hand. You don't have any other neck options, where with like the Prime 1 piece, you have multiple options for the neck and the grapple gun. So it is interesting.
Did he really have those lighter chest plates in the movie? I don't remember that on the Prime 1.
I don't either. And even in some photos, like early on in some of the shows, like it was almost a gold color.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that at all.
It's weird.
Yeah. And I don't know if maybe they were going off of some photos that maybe the lighting was different or something. But I do feel like, I don't know. There's just like looking at this photo here, there's so much light. It's like a lighter gray.
Yeah.
And I just don't think I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, initially, and this is only based on this picture, not seeing them in person, but to me, it's like what they did with the Arkham series Batman. They came out with with the Arkham, the second one, and then they came out with Arkham Origins. So to me, the Prime 1 looks like Arkham Origins. If there was any Batman statue I was going to sell, it would be that one. And that's what it looks like. The quality just based on the picture. Just on the picture.
And this is, I mean, to be fair, this is not the greatest photo. You know, I've seen a lot better photos of this.
What's the price difference between the two of them? You know?
I think like the standard, isn't it like maybe like $820 or $860 or something like that? It's versus $999 for Batman Prime 1.
Got it.
So it's close. I've been really impressed with Queen Studios prices. I think that's probably because they're brand new and they're trying to establish a good fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, gosh, take advantage of the price right now. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Does the utility belt on the Queen Studios one look like it's slung a bit low there?
Yeah, maybe
it kind of does.
a little bit, maybe, yes.
Yeah.
It kind of does.
Maybe so. Yeah, it does look a little bit low now that you're saying that. So we'll move on from that piece. I just threw this in because, like I said, and as Jeff said, this is shipping from Sideshow right now, the Flash. And, man, they look good together, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They look great together. So this is what I was referring to. If you hadn't seen this photo, so this is the Batman. You're able to get a second base. The base is like $120 or something like that. But it will accommodate both Batman and Joker. Again, I'm hoping Batman keys in. But I thought it was cool to be able to see the base, what it looks like with them standing together. And what really sold it for me is that I love this scene. It's my favorite scene in just about any film, the interrogation scene. Of course, it's not perfect because the Joker, this is actually from the jail cell scene. And then, but you know, if you put a table in front of him, it'd be very similar. But it is that look from the interrogation scene when he gets his head slammed into the table.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
Chris, which one of your family members is moving out to make room for those two pieces?
Well, you know that closet space that I keep talking about?
Yeah.
That's where it's going to go. So here's my dilemma. If I get this piece, then does that open the door and say, okay, now should I say maybe I would just collect some of the Joker movie pieces? So like if they ever did a Nicholson, or you know that incredible Joaquin Phoenix Joker, or should that closet just be Dark Knight stuff? Because I do have that Queen Studios bust, you know.
That is a pickle.
It is. This is the new Batman Black and White. I just wanted to share some photos. This has been shipped this week. Our good friend Thomas Nielsen from the group, he did a review, his very first review for us, and it'll go up tomorrow on my channel, so stay tuned for that. But I think this one is incredible.
Yeah, I picked that up.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting that one myself.
There are two different versions, and there's not much difference between the two, other than maybe something the coloring wise, maybe on the interior of the cape. I've heard.
The plate too.
No, they said that Thomas said the plates are the same.
Really?
Yeah, and he collects these, so I don't know why they did a second version. Maybe.
I think it's because the first one sold out. So I think it sold out kind of quick because
okay.
I realized too because I pre-ordered it and I was just kind of looking at the site and I realized that they had a 2.0 and I didn't realize what the difference was between the two. So, which is still available right now. So
yeah, Dan, did you get this one too? Is Dan?
I think Dan stepped away.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't see him in the. Well, I'm sure he got this one as well.
Mac, is there a difference between the two versions?
Well, that's what I'm just going off of what I'm hearing on here. I was looking at the two, trying to figure it out because the 2.0, I didn't really understand what the difference was. But now that I'm hearing that maybe the interior of the cape is different, but
some like subtle color changes. Because I know there are two versions of their Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah,
that could be.
They're like little color differences, I think. Because I don't think they changed the statue.
Yeah, I guess the only way to tell is to get them both.
That's right. I do feel like this is the best black and white they've ever done.
Yeah, Yeah,
I love it. Of course, if you don't know, it's Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
So
That's why I did it.
congrats, Mac, on yours. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Have you all seen the picture from? I can't remember the name of the store. It's the Hot Toy store.
Oh, that secret base.
It's bigger than Secret Base. I think it's kind of a new store, but they have a life-size color version.
Oh, blue. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. It's
crazy.
It's made a lot of people wonder if they'll do a blue version like that.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yep.
Welcome back, Dan.
Hey, sorry, man. I had to step away for a minute. I might have to jump.
Okay, I started talking to you, and they're like, Dan's not here.
Sorry. I may need to jump in a few guys. I apologize, but
that's no problem. Are you getting this one?
I am. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I was just telling everybody that we have the Thomas Nielsen decided to do a review for us on this piece. So just really cool. We're trying to figure out what the difference is between the two versions.
I'm looking it up right now, trying to find out.
All right, you find out. I brought this picture up. This is Zach Wildboy Wright. He's from the Facebook group. I just want to give him a shout out. Thank you for ordering one of the shirts, the Brotherhood of the Bat Collectible shirts, and also Kelly Z, who is doing some stuff for our channel with her own show, Kels Collects, and awesome. Thank you guys for your support. Really appreciate it. Love these shirts. Love the way they turned out.
Hey, Chris, I heard somebody mention, just going back to that, the McFarlane piece for a second, somebody mentioned, and I don't know what, Mac, if you found anything yet, that the inside color of the cape is the difference.
That is, okay.
That's what I heard as well. Because Thomas said that the base was not different, but I don't know what color they could possibly do differently, unless it's maybe a darker gray.
Right.
But
Did you suppose that version 1 just sold like gangbusters, so they're just looking for a reason to do version number 2?
Probably.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's what I thought too.
I think that's what happened with the Batman Who Laughs.
I bet.
It sold really well, and
Yep.
Absolutely. It's smart on their part, and it lets collectors that really missed out still get it, which is great. So again, thank you to Zach and Kelly for those Brotherhood shirts. And then, of course, we have Jeff's new statue right here. I wanted to throw up a couple pictures because it just looks so good together.
there
So
they are, the boys.
Right. It really is an incredible statue. Awesome.
Yeah, for movie, getting like actors correct, Iron Studios just kills it.
They really do.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I will say this because I have the statue. I absolutely love it. I think the dirt, the grit, the whole 9 yards, everything on it is awesome. But the face, I kind of wish the face had a bit more, not stubble or anything like that, but it just looks a little bit almost dollish. Like, the helmet is great, even without the cowl. The likeness of Chris Evans is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the face itself has like a porcelain doll quality to it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, man, the dirt, the suit, the whole 9 yards, man, I'm glad I got it. And I'm glad, Jeff, you got a second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still just shocked.
Yeah.
I do wish that the blood was not quite so red.
Oh, kind of like mixed.
If it was a little more dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that too.
I've seen where
It might be a little bit
painted, but I wouldn't do it. So
we talked earlier about the recall apparently on the bust from Queen Studios. So this one right here, you can see the eyes, and then they look darker, maybe a little bit more recessed, which I brought up earlier. I think these just weren't back far enough, but I do feel like the after does look better. What do you guys think?
Agree.
yeah, it looks like the skin of the face is a little different.
Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting to see the Total Recall eyes.
The goggles, they do nothing to protect my eyes.
To the chopper.
It's a disappointment. It's a disappointment for me.
I love it.
Hey, Chris, I'm sorry, man. I got to jump, but thank you guys. Sorry I have to leave early.
That's no problem.
Have a good day.
See you, buddy.
See you later, Dan.
Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right. So,
Chris, another thing about the Batman bust.
oh, yep.
Does it bother anyone else that, I mean, those are some serious worry lines on that cowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, like in a 1960s Batman costume where it's just kind of like fabric to have that, but this is a thick
Armor.
cowl.
Yeah.
Did he design that with the worry lines? It seems odd to me.
I think that they were trying to go for like an intense look. But I've heard like some people like they don't like the line underneath the eye there. But yeah, I could see that. I could see that too. And this is again a piece. I just feel like it really depends on the lighting of how those shadows hit. But I could see where you're coming from, Jeff, on that.
Yeah, I always kind of worry when people say it depends on the lighting. I mean,
I know.
It reminds me of that episode of Seinfeld where he meets the girl in the bar and she looks great.
Yeah.
The lighting, she looks terrible.
Yep. God, I love Seinfeld. It's my favorite show. I love it. This was the new. These are some in-hand photos from a collector of the Deadpool bust from Sideshow Collectibles. What do you guys think about how he turned out?
I've never been that big of a fan of Deadpool. I mean I've enjoyed him, but the red looks pretty strong. I'm kind of with Jeff with the blood on Captain America. I would have been nice to have seen maybe some mixed shadow red on there more. But I mean it looks nice. What's the size on this one?
Well, here's the thing with these pieces. So originally they were said to be 1/3, and then people were getting them in hand, and they were looking kind of like more like 1/4. Now, Jeff, you have the Wonder Woman pictured here, and you've said that she is bigger than 1/4, but maybe not quite as big as 1/3, somewhere kind of in the middle. Yeah. Do you still stick with that?
Yeah, I don't think Sideshow is designating a scale for any of these busts. If you look at the item descriptions for all of them on the Sideshow site, there is no scale listed, just dimensions.
But they do all look good together. You know, like, I mean, they're clearly keeping somewhat of the same scale for themselves. But this is the first photo I've seen of all four together. And I do think they're really good. I really like that Wonder Woman, and I really like that Wolverine. I love it.
I think it's hilarious that they didn't give Deadpool a right arm, but they gave him a right hand. I think that's hilarious.
That is good. That is good. Well, anyway, that's shipping now apparently from Sideshow. This was a comparison photo of a 1/3 scale Batman right next to it. So you can see that it's kind of smaller, but close. So just like Jeff said, it's right in the middle somewhere.
And I think that Wonder Woman's going to sell out. There's only 500 of them.
And she is gorgeous.
She really is. It's a great piece. Really
beautiful. So this was also announced this week. We're talking a lot about Queen Studio. This is the half-scale Batman. So we are getting a half-scale as well. And here's another image of him. I think the image looks great. Half-scale is not my scale. It's just too big, in my opinion, and for me personally. But what do you guys think of this announcement?
Yeah, it's too big. It's too big. That's what she said.
Then again, we have another comparison of the Prime 1 half scale and the Queen Studio. So just a different look, little bit different pose. But anybody interested in getting this one?
No.
Yep.
I've got mine. I got my half scale Batfleck and my half scale Nightmare Batfleck, and I am happy as Larry.
You're good to go.
Yep.
And then, of course, we got the half-scale pre-order as of today for the from Prime 1 Studio. Again, this one has a ton of different swap outs. It's got the deluxe has a sticky gun, which is awesome. It's got the backpack and the LED illumination, so a lot more options. At least initially, we don't know what Queen Studio is going to offer, but if you're a Dark Knight fan that collects half-scale, you are in luck because you can choose which one you want. But I think both look incredible from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Again, it's just not my scale, but man, congratulations to anybody that collected these.
You've tried that scale before.
I did. And again, like again, no offense to Rick, I had that Ben Affleck piece, and I really liked it, but it was just, to me, it was too big for my collection. And I at the time I compared it to kind of a more detailed statue of like one of those Walmart big giant oversized figures that they sell sometimes. Of course, the the Prime One Studio is incredibly detailed and just beautiful, but the scale doesn't work for me personally. But I can see why so many people like it, and it was an incredible piece. Especially in my Batcave, the old Batcave was real dim, so the lighting really worked with the cowl. But it just was too big for me.
To each his own.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Art is in the eye of the beholder for sure. Absolutely. But
Chris,
again, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you walked into your room, just gave it the stank eye every time you walked in there. Like, this thing's too damn big.
You're too damn big. I was like, oh,
you got to get up out of here.
I mean, that's whenever having that piece though really solidified why I like 1/3 so much.
Yeah.
I just feel like 1/4 is amazing. 1/3 is my favorite, just because I feel like it's like the perfect size and detail. But that's just me. Everybody's different,
I second that.
Yeah, and I know you feel the same. So I think Jeff mentioned this earlier. This, of course, is the new Hulk transformation piece. These are just some photos from in-hand collectors, and by God, this is a beautiful thing.
It is. It really is.
Massive piece.
So Jeff, if you came up on the chance to get it, would you get it?
I just have nowhere to put it. I literally need Mr. X to buy me a new house because there's nowhere for it to go without. It's the same thing as the Batman on the motorcycle we were talking about. It would literally take an entire shelf on my garage shelving, and I don't want to get rid of 3 or 4 pieces to make room for one.
Surely you can take over the dining room table, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Good luck. Good luck. Oh, just a cool piece. It's just such a great take on the character.
Yeah.
Really
what
cool
it reminds me of? It, and I like it. I do like it. It's not a piece in my collection, but I know that there's collectors out there. It reminds me so much of the Weapon X statues.
where he's coming out of the thing. Yeah,
he's coming out of the tank, and he's got the helmet on, and he's got the he's got the monitor on his hip and all that. Like, that is some detail, and that's what this piece is. This piece has got some serious detail.
One thing I love. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. One thing I love is the green pants with the rips here, and then the purple pants. I'm sorry, the purple pants with the rips, and then the purple pants with the rips.
Yeah. And
I like that touch.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of quality time that went into the back and forth of determining the level of detail and how they were going to do that. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yep. Really cool license piece by Queen. And congrats to all the collectors that are getting it. It's amazing. I love this thing. Okay, so we finally got to the Joker. I told you that I got the rooted hair. We finally got full photos of the resculpted Joker, and this is the just an incredible improvement in my eyes. What do you guys think of these new photos?
Looks really good.
Looks really good. I liked in PJ's review, like just when he took the head out of the box, it was like kind of his own kind of separate kind of entity. So I thought that was really cool. Kind of
that little box.
Yeah, it just kind of made that video just even cooler. So
I know that I've had this conversation with the guys in the group this week. Most of them like the sculpted better, and I did end up buying the rooted just because I feel like it's going to be very difficult to find. I think this one's going to be very difficult to find after a while too. But I'm considering, like I said earlier, I'm considering getting both of them and comparing, and then maybe selling the one that I don't like as much, because I think this is going to be in high demand for a while.
And how often is a 1/3 piece priced at under $800?
I know it's an incredible price point. Of course, the rooted hair is more, but I just feel like from the images that we originally saw, like this is night and day better.
Yeah.
So the ones that you're showing right now, these are the sculpted.
This is the sculpted hair.
Yeah, that's really good.
So, and again, it's a very, very good price point. Very good price point for, like you said, 1/3 scale. It's crazy.
Yeah,
These are some photos of the rooted hair. It really depends on how you style it, of how it looks. A collector posted these today, and I think that this looks really good.
Mhm.
It straight up looks like he's just like looking at you, like staring you right through your soul.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. It is so crazy.
All of these are hand done, which is crazy with the rooted hair. This particular scene, the reason why it's kind of hard to capture is because this scene was one of the first scenes that they filmed in the movie, and he had a lot shorter hair. As the movie progressed, he got longer hair, but he definitely had it slicked back in that jail scene where he's clapping, which is what this is taken from. But anyway, I'm excited to get this piece. And speaking of pieces that I'm excited to get, we got some photos, and I don't know how collectors are getting this because it's not shipping as far as I know, but here's some photos of the new Scarecrow premium format. What do you guys think?
Spooky.
I think it's really cool. It has a Nightmare Before Christmas kind of like a true Scarecrow noir feel.
I can see that.
The paint
I
on
like
it is
you can
really
see
cool.
the face under it.
Yeah, the purple.
Yeah, that was good.
But that should be shipping. Like I said, it should be shipping soon. So Stay tuned. I cannot wait to add that to my case.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I got a couple more photos. This one we just did a review this week on the channel, of course, of the General Zod. He's starting to ship at Prime 1. Man, this thing is incredible. Just let the images kind of speak for themselves. Did you guys see the review?
Yeah.
I didn't. Chris, I'm gonna start shutting you down, man. you getting to review this piece first? Come on, man.
I tell you,
man. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I tell you.
As soon as I saw it, I said first on YouTube. I was like, I can't watch it because I knew I got it coming in. So,
well, all I'll say is that you will not be disappointed.
yeah, I like it.
You're gonna love it. Wow, I just came back. 141 people in the chat right now. That is incredible. Thank you guys. Thank you guys very much.
I'd like to thank my family and my wife's family. Thank you so much.
Hallelujah for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, what a show. I cannot wait for this week. I'm so excited. This is always one of those weeks where I just count the days down, and I can't wait for preview night. And I do apologize to Jeff because I know that this is probably killing you, especially because you always say you always get to do preview night.
I had a dream last night. I was walking the aisles.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. Well, anyway, I'm assuming preview night, is that going to be Monday?
Should be Wednesday if they're doing it like normal.
Well, it says it's the 20th, and that's Monday.
I guess they're just doing an extended Comic-Con.
So I don't know if there will be like a preview night or if they did mention that they were going to change the sets out. So they'll probably show some pieces and then the next day they'll change it out and switch with other pieces.
Yeah.
So I think it'll almost be like daily reveals instead of all at once, which is fun. That's
sure. Absolutely.
Anticipation. But man, so I'm excited. I know you guys are too. And hopefully everybody out there in Collectorville will get the pieces they want to get, because I know that there's a lot of potential out there for really great pieces. That's for sure. Bring the Water says, waiting for those Sideshow original pieces revealed. Absolutely. And there's still quite a few from Christmas that we still haven't seen, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Those 3 Bounty Hunter and the other 2, and yeah, there's stuff.
Johnny Waddell says, I really hope Sideshow does a Mandalorian. I think that's a given.
Yeah.
I want to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Chris. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they don't, they're insane.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw a picture today, and I can't remember if it was on yours, Jeff, or Chris, or somebody. I had a few minutes break between work today, and there was a bust of the Mandalorian, and it had like half his cape, and it was almost just like the Batman Queen Studios bust. But for the life of me, I don't know. I literally just swiped right by it and didn't pay a great deal of attention of the size or who was doing it. So
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about, or before we wrap up?
I could answer a question for Jerry Bourne in the chat.
All right. Was it very far ago?
Well, he actually texted me, and then I saw that he appeared in the chat. But he's asking about the Tweeterhead Robin and what the base situation is for that one. If you order the regular from Sideshow or Big Bad Toy Store or somewhere like that, you're only getting one base. If you order it directly from Tweeterhead, it gets kind of tricky. This was one of Chad's slight missteps, where he asked people who ordered that directly from Tweeterhead to email him and let him know whether you wanted the 2 bases, which was what was initially promised, or whether you didn't really care about the additional base. And I think that might be why mine hasn't arrived yet. We're both in California, me and Tweeterhead, so I would get it pretty quick, but I haven't received mine yet because I asked for both bases because I wanted to show both in my review. So Jerry, that's the situation. If you order from Tweeterhead and you ask for both bases, you get both. But if you don't care about the extra one, you're just getting the same one that the people who bought the regular are getting.
Good answer there. Real quick, Eclectic Collector says, what do you guys think of the Memorial Batman statue? I've seen a couple people ask that tonight. I think it's cool. I think it's neat.
It's about time. I saw it at New York Comic Con when I went a couple years ago. What they used in the movie, man, I'm glad they came out with that because I'm definitely going to get it. I think it was really cool.
It's a fun piece, and it kind of goes more with the 12-inch figures. I mean, it's like, it can go really well with those Hot Toys, don't you think, Jeff?
The way it looked, yeah.
Extreme Channel says, referring to the Tweeterhead, so you can only get both if you buy from a select company, use the secret handshake, and pay with an electric chip soon to be installed. So pretty much. I think you summed it up right there. So
it would be simpler.
I've told Chad you got to decide something and stick with it because it gets too complicated for him. He's got to be happy with his choice, but it's hard because
the Linda Carter Wonder Woman ordered for 2 years. It seems like
there's been a lot of delays this year. It feels like, although some things seem to come out real quick and some things never come out. It feels like, I don't know.
Yeah, the Flash was on time.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think Sideshow. I think Sideshow has been the most consistent out of everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
And that might be that they have that consistent factory. I know that some companies, they continue to use different factories, and switch painters and factories and things. So that could delay things, I would think.
Yeah.
But
by the way, 60 days since I ordered Arkham Harley from the sale. We're waiting for that economy.
It's the slow boat all the way.
It's a rowboat. There's 2 old nuns and a little bitty rowboat bringing it over.
I saw on CNN today that boat sank. So hopefully.
SOL.
Oh, geez. And it's weird because I see some collectors that bought from that sale that had them a month ago.
I know.
So what is that? What is that?
Bad luck, I guess. I don't know.
Are you still happy that you went through them to get it?
Yeah, because I bought it for the same price as like a Sideshow PF.
Yeah.
So it's a great deal.
I continue to hear shipping is questionable. Like some people get very good deals and some people are still paying, $900 for shipping. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said recently in one of my videos, like I feel like right now with the way things are, try to buy from your own country if you can, because I think shipping will be less. I did end up canceling my Bermejo Joker pre-order with Prime One.
Oh, wow.
And I ordered through Sideshow just because I'm really worried about that shipping cost.
Right.
Nothing against Prime One. I was really excited to order from them, but I don't want to pay $400, $500, $600.
Of course.
Was that for the so does Sideshow have the deluxe?
Yep. The only thing the only thing different is that the Prime one had that Bermejo print.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Which I would not have framed, I don't think. I mean, it was okay. Actually, they're doing a Bermejo, that Joker 80th. They have the Bermejo cover that matches the statue. That's what I want to get.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Jerry says, did you lose your deposit on Bermejo Joker? I did.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. I might have to do the same thing though, because I don't really want to pay that much either. I'm trying to streamline my shipping costs myself. So
I can tell you, Dan did the same thing too.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but it's a little too risky right now.
Yeah.
But once things settle down, I will have no hesitation ordering from Prime One.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the world's just too crazy right now. It's just too crazy. But anyway, anything else you guys want to say? Okay, so with that silence, Jeff at Secret Sanctuary, go check out the Flash review. Also, I gave you guys a little teaser in my group. We have a very special presentation, not only on my channel, but also on Jeff's channel as well. That's going to be on Tuesday. Okay, it's going to premiere Tuesday as part of the whole Sideshow Con event. So be prepared for that. I can't wait to share with everybody. I'm really excited. I think you guys will be excited too. So once you watch my video, watch Jeff's. And if you watch Jeff's first, come over and watch mine, okay? Because they're definitely going to go together. So check that out. Also, make sure you check out Mac's recent video. What was your most recent one? I can't remember.
My most recent. Well, really, my most recent was the giveaway I did on my channel. So I know Hugo's in here, so I want to congratulate him for winning the grand prize. But my last video was that Captain America with the accessories. But I don't. And then I had some comic stuff, and then the Batman Who Laughs was before that. But I don't have anything statue related coming up here for a little bit. But I think I'll drop that video for that. Little figure from that McFarlane Batman figure next week. So sometime.
That's awesome.
McFarlane black and white.
Yeah, the black and white. So it says it's preparing to ship. So I did see the difference between the two when I was when I was looking it up. Looks like the original one has more gray in the cape, and then the 2.0 is like just more. It's all black. So I think that's the difference.
Okay, I kind of like that gray. I like that separation. Yeah, I think I think they're both going to be good. They're both the same statue, so it's going to be awesome either way. Real quick, Arkham Gaming says, "What Batman pieces would you like to see at Sideshow Con?" I just did a video today. I mentioned it earlier. It's going to probably go up maybe Sunday, but it's my top 10 most wanted Batman statues, and you would imagine there's a lot of villains mentioned in that video. So check that out. Check it out. Anyway, thank you guys, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all well. Again, thank you guys so very much. We've gone about 2 hours, so I'm sorry for keeping you guys so long tonight. But anyway, thank you guys so very much. And stay tuned to all of our channels and the Facebook groups, because we're going to have tons of coverage, I'm sure, in relationship to Sideshow Con. So everybody, Monday, here it comes. And I hope we get some really nice surprises. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And we'll see you in a couple weeks, maybe even next week. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do one next week, probably, because we'll have a lot to talk about. So I think I usually have been doing my confession show on the every other Wednesday, but I think we'll probably do another Rogues Wednesday. Hopefully my kids don't have any baseball left. So hopefully I'll be able to get off and we'll be able to do that. So anyway, join us next week and we'll see you in the Batcave. Good night, everybody.
Thanks. Good night, guys.
Good night. Thank you.